We were in Germany when we first heard about concentration camps. And we heard about them because they were liberated by American troops. We immediately followed them into the camps. We were there within a day or two of the first troops because the reports were so horrible that we had to see for ourselves. Not only that, but Eisenhower ordered the civilians who lived in the vicinity to be escorted through the camps. So we did that too. But when we entered, everything you've ever seen or heard about it doesn't touch the reality. In the first place, the stench of dead bodies, which had accumulated in huge piles, and of barracks where nobody had been able to, where there had been no toilet, where people urinated and defecated right alongside where they were sleeping. These stenches and unwashed flesh. Now, there's nothing we could do about it, absolutely nothing. We were told not to help them. At most times we had with us chocolate bars and candy and cigarettes. We were told you cannot give any food to these people. Their systems are so accustomed to starvation that any kind of food will kill them instantly. Keep your chocolate in your pockets. There was no way that we could do anything to ease the hunger. We did pass out cigarettes, and there were some prisoners who acted as though we were giving them the grace of heaven for a cigarette. Medical troops had arrived with us and the day before, and they were picking up people in triage who might possibly be saved and putting them on litters into trucks and driving away to hospitals. Those who could not be saved were buried in a way that I don't find acceptable. There were bulldozers driven to dig wide, deep ditches, and the bodies were thrown into them. So you would see a group of Germans who were ordered to do it, dragging Jewish bodies by the legs and throwing them into the mass graves. It was a horrendous sight. We had no idea of the part that Jews played during the war. The reason? They were in large part censored or simply underreported by the media. The reason was that the high command, and I think Roosevelt was one of them, believed that if they made any overt attempts to save Jews, which did not have the support of large numbers of people, it would be seen as a Jewish war and nobody would want to fight it. So they had to prepare the way for it to be seen as a war whose victims were French and even Germans and Dutch and Hollandese and gypsies and retarded people. But gradually it became known that the majority were Jews. But one of the most vivid memories I have was going through the quarters of Ilse Koch. She was called the bitch of Buchenwald. She was the woman commander. And she had a reputation, well, she didn't have a reputation, nobody knew about it until then. But I saw in her apartment lampshades that obviously were made of tattooed skins. She had cut out skins of beautifully colored emblems and birds and flowers and had made them into lampshades. And many years after it was disputed. Some people said, nah, it never happened. Never did that. But I saw it. Furthermore, there were pictures taken of a number of those lamps on a table. I don't know where they wound up, but I saw the pictures taken. So I know the evidence is there. There was no level of cruelty that they wouldn't descend to. And my feelings at the time was, it was a damn shame that I had never had a more active part in killing them. And I wanted to. But the cookie just didn't crumble that way.
Did you hear stories about the concentration camps? Was there?
Absolutely not. This came as a great shock to the first soldiers who opened the doors and saw what was there. Nobody knew about them. Certainly not at our level. It's known that during the period of the concentration camps, there were some escapees, there were some Red Cross people who were honest in their secret reports. They could never report it openly, but they told of what was going on there. The information was sent to leaders of the Allied forces and to leaders of some Jewish organizations. But some Jewish organizations agreed with the fact that we just did not want it to turn into a Jewish war. That would be very damaging. So no, it was not known at all commonly. I can't describe it. I cannot say anything that would give you a real appreciation of what the experience was like. It was horrendous, it was horrific, it was horrifying, it was brutal, it was subhuman. But that doesn't tell you anything, does it?